Right, let's go. Morning, everyone. Great session yesterday. Thank you so much for your full-on engagement. Really enjoyed the session, and I hope you enjoyed what Marianne had to say as well on customer journey, vital part of go-to-market and generating the right kind of leads, which is the theme of this masterclass series all the way through. Listen, I had some follow-up questions again, and I hope you don't mind me referring to this. I just want to make sure I address everything, but they are lead and lag indicators. There was a question mark around when you should expect to see some success from a marketing campaign. There was a question mark around networking, virtual networking events. And then I wanted to tell you about the two masterclasses that I'm running for free. They're separate to the masterclass series and additional to, and it's an open audience, so there'll be other people kind of dialing in, and in fact that might be a networking opportunity all of its own. You never know. These things have a way of morphing into other things, but as long as the central information is there. Okay, so on the Zoom, there's two masterclasses. There's one next Monday evening, which is around how to present and sell over Zoom, which is very different to being in person. And since we're going to be selling virtually for quite some time to come, who knows how long, but it will be a minimum of 6 months. We probably need to get better at that. If you follow Sales Marvel on Eventbrite, then you'll find those sessions there. So one's on Monday, that's the next Monday the 8th, that's on the Zoom Masterclass. And then the following Monday evening is again another open session on LinkedIn Brilliant Basics. So as the title suggests, it's going to be going through the basics of making sure you've got your LinkedIn profile, it's up and running, it looks presentable, you've got the right information, etc. So nothing too advanced, but just covering all the basics. And once you've got that covered, you stand a fighting chance of LinkedIn delivering you some leads over a period of time. Okay, right, so the next thing is on virtual networking. So we're going to be in this space for quite some time, as I already mentioned. There is an organisation, most of you will be familiar with BNI, and that's not really for me. If it works for you, that's absolutely fine, but the timing and the sort of culture doesn't really work for me. But there are lots of other virtual networking opportunities as well. There's one called Network B2B, so letter B, number 2, letter B, and they are geographically organised. And I've been to a number of their events as a visitor. I get invited now and again to one of these things. They are running the same vein as BNI, but there's not quite so much sort of pressure or stress or anything like that. It's generally a little bit friendlier. There's normally a cost associated that if you want to join, but it is a good one, and they'll often let you go for 1 or 2 sessions just to get a taste, see if it's for you. And they're normally run geographically, so if you're in the West Midlands, there will be a number in the West Midlands, there's a number in North Yorkshire, etc., all around, in fact, all over the world, I think. Certainly in Dublin, because I worked with them on opening that one up. But so that's Network B2B, so you can Google that and get involved. The other one I want to bring your attention, which I regularly go to and contribute to, is called Pathway to number 2 Growth. Pathway to Growth, and that's a free one. And they've just started doing a new program, which is every other Wednesday. So if you Google Pathway to Grow virtual networking, it will take you to the site where you can kind of get involved. You can even sponsor the events if you want to, which will give you the opportunity to do perhaps a 2-minute pitch, and we've already rehearsed those. So that's one that I really like. They're very strong in the West Midlands, but they are national as well as here in North Yorkshire. So that's virtual networking. So blogs. Yeah, so this came up yesterday. I think certainly Sarah mentioned it by way of an out loud question. So Sarah, I hope you don't mind me. This is going to go to everyone on the cohort. But blogs is a slower burn. Writing a blog, and I've had them written for me. They are a slower burn, but they are helpful. But you should start seeing results, engagement, interest, maybe not a deal, but you should start seeing results within 2 to 3 months of doing that. And you shouldn't really be writing blogs, I don't think, any more than once every 2 weeks is probably about right. There might be reasons to change that, but they need to be good reasons. But you certainly should be seeing results by 6 months, which is the question that came out from Sarah. You should be seeing really good results, rather, within 6 months, but you should be seeing some results within 2 to 3 months. So just be careful, and if anyone, you should be in this for the long term, so it's certainly not overnight, but you should be starting to see results within 3 months. Anyway, that's the point. I think I've made that now. And then the lead and lag indicators. So this is about return on effort. So lead indicators are, I think I mentioned yesterday, say someone's in telesales, let's say, and they do 100 phone calls a day. Well, if you keep doing those phone calls every day, 100 phone calls a day, over the course of 2 to 3 months, you should start seeing a consistent set of results. So, and whatever happens to be for you, your performance in a particular industry. So that 100 calls a day, that might uncover, let's say, 5 appointments a week for one of your salespeople to go out on. So the lead indicator is the effort in, that's the 100 phone calls a day. The lag indicator is the result, if you like, so 5. And so when you run a larger organization, you tend to monitor the lead indicators, because if you keep putting that effort in every single day, day in, day out, in a consistent fashion, you should always be seeing these 5 appointments a week. And those 5 appointments a week might lead to, I don't know, you would expect to see perhaps 2 contracts, 2 deals for every 5 first appointments that you do. So that's lead indicators and lag indicators. The lag indicators are the results of how much effort you put in the lead indicators. So if anyone's got any questions about that, by all means come back to me. A little bit of a longer video, but I think I've covered some relevant points. Great questions, keep them coming. You can email me, keith@salesmarvel.co.uk. I may not get back to you for a little while, but I'll definitely get back to you. And I'll put this out now, and you should start seeing it in your inbox. Well, whenever you watch this, I guess. But I hope that's okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week for Masterclass number 4, which is about understanding the client's requirement and the real needs, in other words, which may not be the words they actually tell you. You're going to have to ask some smart questions to really uncover those leads. And we'll have a special guest in Rebecca Stringer, who's going to tell us about the data as well, because we live in that era of big data. So I'm looking forward to that. Have a wonderful weekend ahead when it arrives, and definitely see you next Wednesday, 3:30. Take care, everyone.